Good morning, everybody. This is Joe here from the beautiful Philippines. It's Saturday morning. It's a beautiful day out. My prayers and thoughts go out to everybody in the earthquake, all the victims over there in Cebu. They're still struggling really hard. So say a prayer for them. Today's video, I want to talk about my adjustments when I first moved here to the Philippines from America. There's quite a difference in obviously the country, the culture, and all of that. So I want to share with you my experience and what I went through when I moved here. Let's start by what it was like in America for me. When I was in America, I was running 24/7. I was working 6 days a week. I'd start my day usually at 1:30 in the morning, and I'd work till like noon every day. Monday right through Saturday. I had my own business. I owned a bread distribution business, so I was always on a dead run. So I was programmed to just nonstop deadlines. Everything's in a big rush. You're in a hurry all the time. Even a simple task like going out to eat, you'd be like, okay, where's my food? You know, your mind goes 150 miles an hour. And I'm sure there's a lot of you over there now that can relate to that. So, you know, I've been programmed like that for most of my life. So then we come over here. We flew over here on August 23rd of 2024. So I've been here, 13 months now. And, you know, we get over here, get to the airport, we get picked up. We had like a 4-hour trip from Cebu to here in Bacong. And one thing about the Philippines is it's completely opposite of what I grew up with. Don't be in a hurry, which, you know, at first it was hard for me because I'm like, okay, you know, we got to do this, we got to go. At first I'm like, you know, everything's too slow. But then I realized, I'm like, this is the way it's supposed to be. This is the way the culture should be. Don't be in a hurry. And then I'm thinking, why am I in a hurry? I'm retired. I got nowhere to go. I've got nothing to do. You know, so, but it took me probably 6 months to get rid of the mindset of being in a hurry. It takes a while. You don't just come here and one day it's gone. No, you're still like, okay, where are we going? What are we gonna do? That sticks with you for a while. That was kind of difficult at first. Now it's like, you know, we'll go out to eat. Don't be in a hurry when you go out to eat. Go to the restaurant. Plan on an hour and a half, okay? It's the way it is. And it's not a big deal because you're there to relax, you know, enjoy your meal and all of that. So a typical restaurant visit, you walk in, you sit down. They don't immediately come up to your table and say, do you need a drink? Okay. Or, you know, when they finally do come over, they will give you the menu, and then they still don't offer you a drink. You know, whether it be beer, soda, whatever it is you want to drink. You ask them, and then they'll bring it to you. And then they'll leave. And at this point, even you have to let them know you're ready to order. A lot of times they won't ask you, are you ready to order? I mean, it does happen. But in my experience, a lot of times I'll have to flag them down and say, yeah, we're ready to order. So they'll come over, they'll take your order. And then one of the differences I really noticed between at a restaurant here and in America was a lot of times when your food is done, they'll bring it right out. In America, they bring everybody's food at once. If there's 3 of us eating at the table, the food doesn't come out until it's all ready. It's not the case here. A lot of times, if mine's done first, they bring it right out, I start eating. It's kind of different. There was one in particular place we went to. I'm not going to bring the name up, but I literally got through my meal, about done with it before my wife's food come out. So that's an adjustment, you know, something different. And if you want to pay your bill, you have to flag them down. 9 times out of 10, they don't come back asking if you want another drink or anything. You have to flag them down. So that was kind of an adjustment. It's not a big deal. I mean, I'm used to it. But it's a big difference when you come from America to here, when you go out to eat. But it's not really a big deal. The other big difference here was, okay, how about the heat? You always hear about it. It's so hot in the Philippines. And honestly, guys, I came from the Northeast in the U.S., from New Hampshire, and it's cold there most of the year. So, I hate the cold. Now that I'm older, when I was younger, I skied and I did all the things outdoors in the snow. It didn't bother me, but as I get older, I can't stand the cold. So I welcome the heat. It took me probably 2 months to really get used to the heat. Now, it's not that bad. Obviously, I have a pool. If it gets too hot, I'll jump in the pool, and then we have AC in the house. Could I go work outside in this heat every day? No. I don't know how these guys do it. They don't get paid enough either. But they do, and they don't complain, which is another thing. You never see people complain here. That's a big difference between America and here. People here are happy, generally happy most of the time. If they have an issue, they won't complain. They'll go into this thing they call tempo. And what's tempo? Tempo is just simply not saying a word. Silence is golden kind of thing. That's when you know when somebody's upset in the Philippines. They don't talk, they don't say a word. And in my opinion, my wife gets that way once in a while. To me, that's worse, because you're thinking, what did I do? But, so yeah, they're not going to complain. It's totally different. One of the biggest things I'm having a hard time with to this day is the traffic. Dumaguete is so different now than what it was when I first came here. 2001, when I first came here, not a lot of people own cars or trucks. Today, everybody over here seems to have one. And there's motorbike. I mean, it's a complete nightmare. I don't even drive. I didn't even get my license. I started driving, and I told my wife, I said, no, I don't want to do this. So she does all the driving, and she's good. She's a really good driver. But you'll be going down through traffic, and you got people passing you on the right. You got them passing you on the left. They cut right out in front of you. A lot of times, they'll drive right out, and they won't even look, and they'll cut right in front of you. It's amazing we haven't had an accident. And then they'll do complete U-turns right in the middle of the road, which is so illegal. I'm used to that being illegal. Now, the one thing that really bothers me is nobody stops at the crosswalks. You pretty much take your life in your hands trying to cross the street. My wife's used to the U.S., so she always stops at the crosswalk. And so people kind of look like, what is she doing? And then she has to motion them to go by. But, the other side, they're not stopping on the other side, so they still got to, try to fight to get across the street. That's a big fine in America. If you don't stop at a crosswalk, you're going to get a ticket. And I see that as the biggest problem with the traffic, and they don't enforce a lot of things here when it comes to that. They don't enforce the crosswalk thing. It is a law, evidently. They don't enforce passing on the right. Nothing gets enforced. So because of that, they continue to do it. So that's one of the big adjustments that it's been hard, and I don't know if I'll ever get through that. But as far as the food, my wife says I'm fussy, and I must say that I probably am fussy. I'm not big into fish, and you're thinking, oh my God, he's in the Philippines. That's all they eat. And you're right. There's only a certain few fish. I love tuna. I'll eat tuna every day. But as far as a lot of other stuff goes, I don't eat a lot of fish. What do I miss the most? I miss good prime rib or a really good steak. You can get steak here, but it's very expensive, and it's not as good as what you're going to get in America. It's just my experience. You can get American beef, but you're really going to pay for it. It probably costs more for American beef here than it does in America because it's imported. So I don't eat a lot of beef. I eat a lot of chicken, which is fine. I love chicken. I eat quite a few burgers. So beef is what I really miss. And you're going to laugh at me on the next one. Uh, I really miss Jersey Mike's subs. Now that may sound funny, but I used to love getting their Jersey Mike Italian subs. Um, my go-to place all the time for lunch. I miss that. You can't find delis. They don't have delis where, at least where I am, where you can go in and get a pound of roast beef sliced. I miss the delis. I miss, go get lunch meat and make a good sub. You're not going to find that here, at least in the Dumaguete area. It may be available in Cebu or Manila or the bigger cities. If it is, let me know. Just curious. So, but as far as the overall adjustment here, I've adjusted well. People accept me. I don't go out to all the bars and hangout spots. I pretty much stay to myself with her family and my wife and our kid. So it's been good. I have no complaints at all. I'd do it again tomorrow if I had another choice. Do I want to go back to America? No. We are going to go back next May to visit. I have kids over there, obviously, and my son's having a baby. So that'll be my third grandchild. So we are going back to pay a visit in May of next year. I refuse to go during the winter because I don't want to deal with the snow and the cold. So if you get any questions, feel free to comment. Let me know if you're living here and you moved from another country, what your biggest adjustments were. And for those out there that are thinking about moving here, you'll be fine. You just gotta take one day at a time. You'll get used to it. It's not that bad. It's not as bad as everybody thinks it would be. Culture shock is it's a lot better here than it is where I came from. So I embrace it. And that's the key. Embrace it and you'll be fine. So with that being said, guys, please hit the like button. Thank you, everybody that's subscribed. And if you haven't, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out a lot. So, all right, guys, have a great day. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.